Good morning, guys. It is Tuesday and it's grey and rainy and cold, and I get to sit inside with my beautiful warm candle and I'm winding yarn, and this is starting to be a problem because I have a kitty here who wants to eat it. But this is how I wind yarn. I wind it into balls. I don't have a cake winder or anything, so I need to do it by hand, but this is what I'm doing. Sadly, as I said, I have a kitty who's totally crazy about wool. He already ate a whole piece of it. I don't know what is with him, and he's kind of hunting for more wool, and that is not a good thing. But yeah, good morning, guys. Have an awesome day. Well, guys, apparently there's something called the Crafty Academy Awards, and apparently I'm nominated to the card section. That is kind of cool, right? It's actually really cool. Yeah, that makes me happy. Good way of starting the morning. Here is Gizmo. He's a little bit pissed because he's not allowed to play with ball of yarn. This is the first part of my knitting. These are knitting markers that my sisters made to me years ago, and I'm doing it on my circle needles. I will continue showing you my little shawl as it is working. Yeah, I'm gonna go back listening to Adventures in Roommating and trying to figure out the rest of the pattern. I don't know, I might actually have bitten off a little more than I can chew, but we'll see. I'm back listening to my audiobooks, and I didn't realize how much I missed it until I sat down and listened to my audiobooks. I think I need to get a couple hours audiobooks a day because, I don't know, it's comfortable. I've been knitting, and I thought I'd show you something that I learned from a knitting podcast. So, let's see here. This is the knitted part, my start of my shawl. This little thread is threaded through all the like bits and pieces here for where this repeat ends. So you go this pattern, you have a certain amount of different patterns. So you have this, which is a base pattern, and then you have different like lacy parts of different sorts, and this is the lacy part. And I realized over here that I'd done something wrong and I missed a knit. And when you do lace, it's very hard to kind of figure out what you did wrong, especially here where I knit in cross and I do yarn overs, and the yarn overs shouldn't be knitted, and it's all... I'm starting to understand the pattern, but I can't really read this specific lace bit. So I heard about like a safe thread, a safeguard, or something like that. I don't remember what they called it, but mainly what you do is you thread a thread through all, you take a needle and you thread a thread through all of the stitches you have on your knitters when you come to kind of a safe place where you know that up to here it's correct. So I did that. And now I need to take this, I have two and a half rows of stitches that I need to frog. And it's kind of nice that it's only 2.5, and that I don't need to try to kind of match the knits. I have them on this thread, so I don't have to worry about dropping any or anything. So I'm just gonna wrap it up, and then I am going to try knitting again. That safe thread is gonna save me a lot of time. So I have a 3-row pattern now, so when the third when I actually finish the third row, this is my second time, so I at least will have knitted it 3 times before I understand how I'll do this. When I finish that last row, I'm gonna again go with a needle and a thread and fasten those stitches on the thread, because then I have another safeguard. And then you do that for every time you finish what you feel is a correct repeat. So yeah, this is going to be quite cool in the end. I read the pattern and it was talking about having 3 stitches in the border, but when I watched the knitted piece that she has done, I don't think there were those 3 on this specific row. They are on the other rows, but not on this specific row, and so I think not supposed to be there. I have seen a couple of shawls that have these carried on, and the lace bit becomes a little bit too tense in those areas. So I think I'm not gonna do them because it doesn't say that in the pattern, and hopefully it will turn out correct. Yeah, knitting lace is an adventure. I love having things that are a little bit harder to do, like knitting my wrist warmers. I've been knitting socks and wrist warmers. I've been knitting since I learned how to knit when I was like 6 or 7, but I've been knitting clothes to myself, like shirts and stuff, since I was 12. So I have been knitting for a very long time. So those are quite basic knits, so they go pretty fast, and they're very like, I can watch telly while doing it. I often knit faster if I don't look at the knits. I can look at the TV instead. That's a big difference from cross-stitching. Cross-stitching, you want to have like 80% of your attention has to be on the cross-stitch, while on my knitting I maybe need 20% of my attention on the knits to be able to make like wrist warmers and stuff. But when I do lace work, I need like 110% concentration on the work, because as I realized here, I have done something wrong. If I have dropped, because I did what I was supposed to, and I dropped one and I dropped the wrong one. Either I knitted the wrong one or I dropped the wrong one, but anyway, it started to unravel. So I have to rip 2.5 rows, but that's okay. Sometimes you have to rip things. If I did not kind of explain, this is how it is. I have this pink thread that holds my stitches, so that I can just pull them up on my knitting needle again, like that. I just got home from my little walk. I went down to the post box, or post mailbox that you send out mail in, to send out my wish warmers. Yay! So they're now sent out. A little walk, and it's really gloomy outside. It's like drizzling rain, so it's a little bit of rainfall, but not very much, and it's cold. And all I have in my head is the Let It Snow song, you know, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. And I'm like going around singing that and feeling so upbeat and happy, and it's like, it's 3 months to Christmas and I'm still just let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Just happy. I don't know. I think it is because I feel even better today. I don't have the same kind of headaches that I had yesterday. That is extremely good. And I don't know, even though it's going very slowly, every day is a little bit better. And I hope to keep that way, because I really do believe that this medication is going to save me. Because I am going back to work. I am going to live my life as I lived my life before all of this. There is no doubt in my mind. there are so many medications out there that exists. I just found out that there actually is a fourth medication. If this medication doesn't work, there is one more medication that I could try at least. And if that doesn't work, I've heard that a lot of people get good results with like Chinese medications and stuff. So I'm giving this medication a go, and if my doctor says that this doesn't work and she can't help me, I'm going to a Chinese professional, Chinese medication professional, because I've heard good things about it. I do want to give the traditional medication a shot first, and I don't want to mix them because I want to know which of the medication actually is the one that works. But yeah, I think this is gonna be good. So let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. I'm going to continue knitting. Now I'm gonna sit down and try the third time's the charm lace. I realized what the clock was last time I talked to you, so I went out with my mail and got my mail. Nothing exciting today in my mail. I wish there were, but it wasn't, so hopefully another day then. Well guys, it's evening and I've gotten both knitting and cross-stitching done. I stopped knitting somewhere around 7 or something because I felt I needed to do some cross-stitching and I was at a good place to end. But first, this is what I've done cross-stitching. I have done a whole lot of these stitches in the silk blending with the cotton, which I really like. I don't really like embroidering with it, but I like the result, and that's also why I don't change it to go with the just the ordinary cotton of the 5200. I want the shine, because you get it in the moon and you get it in the snow. It gets that extra effect that is really cool. It's still it's just knotting itself all the time, but I'm trying to be a little bit more careful, doing the stitches a bit slower, trying to kind of place the stitches in another way, and it kind of works a bit. But that was my cross stitching, so I thought I'd show you my knitting, because I have done more knitting. Here's my knit. I have a kitty here, so I have to be careful. They've already stolen this. I went to cook some food and Christopher was supposed to watch them, and I ended up finding it on the floor. But as it has the cables, it doesn't come off as easy. So that's kind of cool. If we turn it around, I think, no, you can look at it this way. You can see here that I have that pink thread. Well, I'll put it up here too. So I should be able to remove the thread down here. This is the kind of lace pattern. This is going to be blocked afterwards, so you get it a little bit different then. But that is the lace. And then you have this middle part where you do all the increases, that's called. And then you just do more lace. So I'm at a place where I should start with new lace, but I didn't want to do it this late because I redid the lace 4 times before I got it to work. Found the tip was to actually mark every repeat. The pattern have a very short repeat, so it was like 55 repeats of this pattern on one line. But by marking them, I made them slower, and by making them slower, I didn't make the folds. So I think I'm going to try that because I'm having a similar pattern again. This time it's a lot more of the repeats as you increase all the time, as you go from a small part and go upwards in your shawl. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. So that has basically been my evening. I've taken it slow and just I've been watching Law and Order, Special Victim Unit. I think it's a good series. I can't only watch so many of them because they're pretty heavy, as it's about like sex crimes. It's a lot about child abuse and stuff like that. So it's an interesting series, but it's a little bit heavy. So after watching like a couple of episodes in a row, you don't want to watch more. So yeah, but yeah, that has been my evening. Yeah, we have been playing with the kitties. Christopher have started editing up all the small like iPhone videos he had made from when they were teeny tiny and when they have become bigger. So today we actually brought out my camera I use for my craft videos and recorded some when they were playing with some hexapuffs. I think that's also one of the problems, as I have wool things they are allowed to play with and wool things they aren't allowed to play with. Might be the reason why they play with my wool. I do my hexapuffs, the small hexapuffs I put in glass jars so they can't get to them. They have like lids on them. While the bigger hexapuffs that I made previously a couple of years ago, I have no plan of using them for anything, so we give a couple of them to the kitties. And I can tell you that today Gizmo found one and he basically ate it. He bit down in it, so we had like the foamy thing everywhere. But yeah, that happens. But we're heading to bed, so good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. Bye!